The first network test session of Elden Ring Nightreign featured From Software's most frustrating enemy yet. Server issues. Ugh. I woke up at 6 AM on my day off for this? In all seriousness, I feel for From Software here. They obviously thought they had everything set to go for the network test, and here on PS5, at least, it just didn't work out. Such is life as a video game developer, as even the best laid plans of mice and men go awry. Still, it wasn't a total loss. Though there were connectivity issues from the beginning that prevented matchmaking, I did get to spend some time checking out the new version of Roundtable Hold before the servers went down for maintenance. So let's talk about that. The new Roundtable Hold has a very earthen feel. The way the plants and foliage have taken over the stone reminds me of something you might see in a medieval version of Life After People. I like that it has an outdoor section this time around, and that you can speak to the other playable characters. As of right now, all of them only have one line, but you can see small fragments of their personality shining through. The Guardian, for example, appears to be the stoic member of the group, just as you'd expect from the tank, while Wilder is sharpening his blade and eager for the next battle. The Duchess and the Recluse come off as more distant, which certainly makes sense for the latter. In terms of lore, there was really only one thing of significance I picked up on in the new Roundtable Hold, which was this portrait of Godfrey and Siraj right here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's new. I don't remember seeing it anywhere in the main game. Based on what we know about Nightreign's timeline, this does make some sense. Interviews with the development team have revealed that Nightreign takes place in an alternate universe from the base game, and that the paths diverged after the Shattering. Thus, in Nightreign's timeline, Ratigan probably didn't spend as much time as Elden Lord as he did in the main timeline, and thus, there should be more portraits of Godfrey than Marika's red-headed other half. At a base level, though, I think it raises the possibility that we may be seeing Godfrey in some way, shape, or form in Nightreign. I doubt he'll show up in the network test, but I think there's a good chance he'll be around for the full version of the game. I'm very excited about this. I came away from Elden Ring feeling like Godfrey was a fairly underutilized character, and someone we should have encountered more than once, so I'm looking forward to seeing how the team might use him in Nightreign. Speaking of Marika, I didn't see any portraits or even statues of her in the Roundtable Hold. One of the common fan theories about Nightreign is that it takes place in a timeline where the Nox successfully brought about their Lord of Night. The final boss of each run is called the Night Lord, after all, so perhaps the absence of Marika's image from the Roundtable Hold lends credence to that belief. Maybe they didn't just create a Night Lord, maybe they went so far as to supplant her as the god of the current age. But hey, that's just wild and crazy speculation based on nothing but portraits that I only looked at because the actual game itself wasn't working. So don't take any of this to the bank. I'm not married to any of these theories. They're just food for thought based on a very small section of the game, and it's totally possible that I'm just reading too much into all of this. Before the network test went down for maintenance, I spent some time in the game's sparring grounds. It's an awesome area of the Roundtable Hold that allows you to practice with a chest full of weapons you'll recognize from the base game, temporarily upgrade your character so you can see what they'll fight like at a higher level, and experiment with all 4 characters so you can get a feel for their abilities and ultimates. It's a great feature, and I foresee spending quite a bit of time there as I learn the ins and outs of Nightreign. Around the same time the still not working network test was set to conclude, my daughters, who were off for the Eagles parade, woke up. Kids, they sure do have some impeccable timing. So I spent the rest of the day chilling with them, watching the aforementioned championship celebration, and playing Avowed, which I'll be covering here on the channel next week, before the second network test session began at 10 PM. Fortunately, matchmaking in the second network test session worked great. I was able to link up with 2 other Nightfarers right away, and over the course of 3 hours, I managed to get in about 7 or 8 sessions. Here are some of the highlights and the lowlights. I spent just about every session playing as Guardian. As mentioned earlier, he's the tank of the squad, which vibes really well with how I play From Software games anyway. Whether it's Dark Souls or Elden Ring, my goal is to take big hits and deal big damage, and Guardian can certainly do both of those things. His Whirlwind ability works great as crowd control, but the real highlight for him is his Dive Bomb ultimate. It does some serious damage, appears to do a number on boss posture as well, and is just as much fun to use. Tomorrow, I plan on giving the Duchess and Wilder a try, but they seem to be the two most popular characters to use, so I might have to wait a bit to get my chance with them. The only session where I didn't use Guardian was the one where I got stuck using the Recluse, which just wasn't my flask of Estus. I did my best to stick it out, but I have to be honest in saying that I was kind of glad we didn't make it past the first night, because I really didn't know what I was doing with her. My most successful runs on Nightreign had a common theme. As soon as we had the opportunity, the team made an effort to visit the churches of Marika and upgrade our flasks. If you've played base game Elden Ring, then you know just how important this is, and it's just as essential here in Nightreign. Having an extra flask charge can make a huge difference when it comes to fighting the final boss that comes along with each night, so it's critical to balance taking out the enemies you'll need to level up with collecting these all-important upgrades. My favorite run actually ended up being this one right here. Early on, I thought we were completely screwed as the third member of our team disconnected. But this Wilder and I farmed a ton of runes by taking out these flaming chariots, and then upgraded our flasks around dusk each day. I'm not sure if we got some type of damage reduction because we were cut down to a duo, but thanks to some excellent teamwork and the effort we put in during the day, we made short work of the Centipede Demon. It was so cool to see this classic Dark Souls 1 boss back in action. He looks great with the modern graphics, and his musical theme hits just as hard as it did back in the day. Unfortunately, we were unable to defeat Morgoth on the second night, but we did come damn close. In fact, this boss fight right here was the first time on the run that either of us had died at all, which is pretty impressive if you ask me. If we'd still had our third member, we probably would have won, but sadly, I think this is a case where the balancing and the lack of a complete team caught up with us. If by chance you're watching this and you are this Wilder, then drop a comment down below. You're a dog, and we should kick some ass together in Limveld again sometime. This run ended up being the closest I got to finishing out the second day, which, according to others who played the game, leads directly into your confrontation with the Night Lord. Hopefully I'll get a chance to face off with him at some point tomorrow. Overall, I enjoyed my first playthrough of Nightreign, but as a guy who doesn't play many co-op games, I have to say that the difficulty of coordinating teammates was a good bit frustrating. By the end of the second network test, I felt comfortable trying to lead the group in the right direction, but trying is the operative word there. Too often, the group ends up being very disorganized and heading off in separate directions. I'm sure this will be remedied somewhat as folks learn to play the game, but it does make me look forward to the opportunity to play with friends and coordinate strategies over voice chat, or just play solo. When those features come up in the finished game, I think I'll enjoy Nightreign even more. Should make it easier to balance and coordinate the path to victory I mentioned earlier. That's it for now. Stay tuned tomorrow morning for my next after action report for Elden Ring Nightreign. Thanks for watching. Big thanks to Moonlapse Piano who allowed me to use their covers from the Elden Ring soundtrack for this video. To check out all of their amazing music, just follow the link down below in the description box. Big shout out to all my Silver and Gold tier YouTube channel members and Patreon subscribers, including James Pruitt, Gustavo Balabi, Lil Caesar, Reed, Pathonian, Faith G, Anna Novikova, Lara Parenti, and Sean Bobby, who get early access to these videos thanks to donations of $5 to $10 a month. See you guys next time, and go birds!